Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button and check out some of my other videos. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Hermit card. If you haven't seen the weekly general, please check it out this week because you might find some relevant information in there for you. Now, you have the Hermit card, and I often say with this, your intuition or the deepest self or the higher self, whatever you like to call that aspect of you, has a message for you, right? Whenever the Hermit card shows up, it means that the High Priestess has something to say to you. So listen to your intuition this week. And also, if you feel like this is a slower week, if you feel like withdrawing from the world in some way, shape or form, if that is to formulate the next step or to think about what the path forward might look like, this would be a really good time to do so. Don't be afraid of making yourself quiet. Don't be afraid of the stillness that might come over you this week, because there are messages and secrets to be found there. For your actions and options this week, you have the Eight of Cups. It looks like some of you have decided that that move that you've been owing and ahhing about for the longest time is now time, right? Whether this is you found the place that you wanted to buy, specifically a piece of land. For some of you, this looks like you could be finding, you know, the place or the spot that you want to move to. Maybe some of you are, you know, finally ready to move on from the place that you're in. Now, we've seen for Geminis that a move of some kind is going to come up for you, whether this is your work, your business, or your home. This week, I kind of feel like you might be at that point where you've already decided, okay, it's time to leave this place. It's time to go to where I am celebrated, where I'm appreciated next. All right. For your communications and conversations, you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card and the Hermit card have been very active this week. And I wonder if it's because the Temperance card specifically is Sagittarius ruled. So I wonder if it's something to do with that amazing eclipse that we've got coming up, which, by the way, I will have a special guest star for. So if you are around on the 26th of May, be there or be square. For when it comes to your communications and conversations this week, you really want to think about what you're saying, right? So whatever information you have to deliver, whatever information you have to divulge, this would be a week where you need to be very clear and very concise in what you say and how you speak it, especially if you're dealing with something of a technical nature. So if this has something to do with your work, if it has something to do with your profession, your words will have more weight this week. And so it's really important that the way that you deliver your messages is aligned with what you're actually trying to say. This is not a week where, you know, hiding... Gemini is a really good wordsmith, right? But this week, that wordsmith stuff is not going to serve you. You have to be very clear and very concise in what you say this week, all right? It's really important that your words back up your intentions. Anything else will end up getting you probably into a really sticky situation. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, or you're an employee, etc., this would be a week where being drawn or dragged into some situation that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you, think long and hard about that, right? The reason I say this is because you might make a throwaway comment this week and that comment may come back to haunt you at some point. So again, clarity, concision when it comes to your speech, right? The other thing is as well, because you've got the Hermit card involved here, I wonder, for those of you that work for somebody else, if this is going to be... It's going to see you really revising what your duties are and how much longevity there is in that. It's like, how much more, how much longer do I really feel like I can continue doing this? For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this is really a week where you could really discover rediscover, reinvigorate your purpose in some way, shape or form. This suggests to me that this week you are going to have a really big insight into what feels aligned and what doesn't feel aligned. And it's like this week you're more passionate about doing something about it, especially on that inner level. It's kind of like this week you're coming out of the head and more into the heart space, which I actually really like for you, especially given the fact that the Mercury goes into shadow this week, I believe, as well. And will go retrograde in a couple of weeks. So for those of you that are retired or no longer working, especially with the Hermit card here, this would be a week where you really want to pay attention to your health. Go and get that checkup. It looks like something you might have been putting off for a while. You have the time, you have the space, do it this week. For your money and materials, you have the Queen of Wands, right? So when it comes to money, when it comes to finances, this week it does look like you're having to put your foot down when it comes to the finances. You may have to... it kind of feels like you have a really big goal, like there's something that you want to do financially, and in order to get there you are going to have to draw some really clear boundaries or some really clear lines, and that would be a really good use of your time. Now, a Sagittarius woman may feature for you this week in some way, shape or form. You've got the Temperance card there, and you've also got the Queen of Wands, usually a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You put it together, you see what I mean. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this week, it could be your energy levels, right? They could be all over the place. And if that is the case and you have the time, especially if this is something that you've been putting off, get out there and go and speak to a doctor, go and speak to a specialist of some sort. When it comes to your home and environment, well, look, it's right underneath the 8 of Cups, right? So something about the home is coming up for review this week. And I kind of feel like when I say that it's coming up for review, I feel like a lot of you already have your foot out the door. It's like, this place doesn't serve me anymore. This place, it could, for some of you, start to feel really stifling this week. You know, anything that comes up with the Queen of Wands is fire. And fire needs to move, it needs to breathe, much like air, right? So this week it could see you being really passionate about getting out of where you're at. And then finally, for your love and relations, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady is going to win this race, guys, especially with the Temperance card in the mix, right? So what you and your partner want on separate levels is important. What you and your partner do together is also important. Now, the Knight of Pentacles suggests one of you is on your travels this week, and I think this is definitely going to be one of those times where absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I think you should just let that energy kind of sit. If your partner says to you, you know, I need to go on a work trip, or, you know, I'm being called away by family, etc., it's actually going to serve you really well. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, well, we'll just go together. I don't necessarily think that that is the case, and if I'm completely honest with you, I don't necessarily think that it's the best thing. I think this is time that you guys actually need away from each other that will serve you really well in the long run. For those of you that are single, it's going to be on or through your travels that you are likely to meet someone or connect with someone. I will say this though, it's going to be in the light of day. You know, for those of you that are locked down, obviously maybe not, but for the most part, it feels like this is somebody that you will actually be seeing in person with your own eyes, etc. For your Human Design Oracle card and your new moon, because we've got this wonderful Taurus new moon, is the Gate 62 and practicality. Right, so the new moon is really asking you to think in terms of, is this just a fantasy, or is it something that I really am able to do? Like, this is going to see you looking at the practicality of it, but it's also going to see you doing some real soul searching, right? This is you asking the question, the new moon is revealing to you, right, what it is that you're, where your plans and your resources meet or don't, right? This is what's really being highlighted to you. So is it practical? more importantly, do you have the support on the material level that you need in order to make this thing a reality? That's what you have to look at here. And the reason I say this is because whatever it is you're planning to do, whatever the new moon has you sort of emotive about doing, you can't do it on your own. You are going to need some support. And now you need to figure out if it's actually there, or if the person or the thing that you're relying on is only as strong as wet paper. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. All in all, it looks like a good week, but I think it's going to be one where you are really doing some serious thinking about what is and what isn't, able to move forward. Take care, and I'll see you soon.